So a triangle is a three-sided polygon. A triangle has three sides. This shape, triangle, and every other shape that we're going to learn about in this video, they are all two-dimensional shapes. They are plane shape. That means they are flat shape, they don't have thickness. So a triangle is a two-dimensional shape. It has three sides. It's a plane shape. The perimeter of a triangle is the sum of the three sides. Look at this example. A triangular piece of land has sides measuring 12 cm, 50 cm, and 18 cm. Find the perimeter of the triangle. The perimeter of the triangle P is equal to the sum of the three sides, A plus B plus C, which is equal to 12 plus 15 plus 18. The perimeter of this triangular piece of land is 45 centimeters. The formula for the area of a triangle is equal to 1 over 2 multiplied by base multiplied by height, which is the same thing as 1 over 2 base times height. So when the base of the triangle is given and the height of the triangle is given, you can calculate for the area of the triangle with this formula. 1 over 2 base times height, which is equal to 1 over 2 b times h. A triangle has a base of 14 centimeters. So let the base of the triangle be equal to 14 centimeters and a perpendicular height of 9 centimeters. So let the height be equal to 9 centimeters. And the question says calculate the area of the triangle. Now we know that the area of a triangle is equal to 1 over 2 multiplied by the base multiplied by the height. So the base is 14 centimeters multiplied by height, which is 9 centimeters. So this is the same thing as 2 divided by 14 is 7. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Therefore, this is the same thing as area of the triangle is equal to 7 multiplied by 9. Therefore, the area of the triangle is equal to 7 multiplied by 9, which is equal to 63 meters. Which is equal to 63 centimeters. So the area of a triangle with base 14 centimeters and perpendicular height 9 centimeters is equal to 63 centimeters squared. You can also calculate the area of a triangle by using Heron's formula. So this formula is applied when all three sides of a triangle are known, but the height is not given. So in that case, we cannot use the first formula, which is 1 over 2 base times height. So we apply Heron's formula to calculate for the area of the triangle because the height is not given, but the three sides are given. So, but the first thing you need to do when applying the Heron's formula is A is equal to the square root of x multiplied by x minus A multiplied by x minus B multiplied by x minus C. And the first thing we need to do, we need to calculate or find the value of S. S is the semi-perimeter of the triangle. So we need to first of all find the semi-perimeter of the triangle before we now use that value to calculate for the area. We are going to apply the Heron's formula to solve this example. The sides of a triangle are 13 cm, 14 cm, and 15 cm. Calculate the area of the triangle using Heron's formula. So we need to first of all look for the semi-perimeter. And the semi-perimeter is S is equal to A plus B plus C all over 2. The value of A is 13. The value of B is 14. The value of C is 15 all over 2. And this is the same thing as S is equal to 42 all over 2, which is equal to 21 centimeters. So we are going to use this value, substitute it into the Heron's formula to calculate for the area of the triangle. Therefore, area of the triangle is equal to the square root of 21 multiplied by 21 multiplied by 21 minus 13 21 minus 14, 15, sorry, 21 minus 15. Therefore, A is equal to 21 multiplied by 21 minus 13 is 68. 21 minus 14 21 minus 15 Therefore, area is equal to 21 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6. Is the square root of 21 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6, which is the same thing as the square root of 7056. And the square root of 7056 is equal to 84 centimeters squared. So the area of the triangle is 84 centimeters squared. This is the third formula for the area of a triangle. 1/2 AB sine theta. It is used when two sides of the triangle is given and the corresponding angle is also given. Look at the application of the formula. In this example, a triangle ABC, side AB is 12 cm, while side AC is 9 cm, and the angle BAC is equal to 60 degrees. Calculate the area of the triangle ABC. So the area of the triangle is equal to 1/2 multiplied by A multiplied by B multiplied by sine theta. So the value of A, let the value of A be 12 cm. Let the value of B be 9 cm. Multiplied by sine 60 degrees. Therefore, 2 divided by 12 is 6. 2 divided by 2 is 1. This is 6 multiplied by 9 multiplied by sine 60 degrees is equal to 0.8660. Therefore, the value of 6 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 0.8660 is equal to 46.8 centimeters squared approximately. Square is another two-dimensional shape, a plane shape that does not have thickness. Now, a square has 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. The perimeter of a square is equal to 4 multiplied by the length of the square. Let's apply the formula to solve this question. A square has length 8 cm. Calculate the perimeter of the square. So if the perimeter of the square is equal to 4 multiplied by the length of the square, if the length of the square is 8 centimeters, therefore means that the perimeter of the square is equal to 32 centimeters. Area of a square is equal to the square of the length of the square. So if only the lengths of the square are given and you are asked to look for the area, you apply this formula, L squared, the square of the length. But if the diameter of the square is given, you use the second formula, 1/2 d squared, where d is the diagonal of the square. And the formula for the diagonal of a square is equal to length multiplied by the square root of 2. Let's apply the formula for the area of a square to solve this question. A square has length of 7 centimeters. Find the area of the square. So since only the length of the square is given, we are going to apply the first formula, where area is equal to L squared, which is the same thing as 7 squared, which is 49 centimeters squared. A rectangle is a quadrilateral with opposite sides equal opposite sides. So the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. The opposite lengths are equal, the opposite breadths are equal. And it has 4 right angles. A rectangle is also a two-dimensional shape, a plane shape that does not have thickness. The perimeter of a rectangle is equal to 2 multiplied by the sum of the length and the breadth. L is the length of the rectangle and B is the breadth of the rectangle. Let's apply the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle to solve this question. The question says a rectangular playground has a length of 18 meters and width of 12 meters. Calculate the perimeter of the playground. We know that the formula for perimeter P is equal to 2 multiplied by the sum of the length and the breadth. Therefore, 2 multiplied by the length is 18 meters. So the perimeter is equal to 2 multiplied by the sum of 18 and 12. 18 plus 12 is equal to 30. 2 multiplied by 30 is 60 centimeters. Therefore, the perimeter of a rectangular playground is equal to 60 centimeters. The area of a rectangle is equal to length multiplied by breadth. Take a look at this question. A rectangular classroom has length 15 meters and breadth 8 meters. Calculate the area of the classroom. Now we know that the formula for the area of a classroom, we know that the area of a rectangle is equal to length multiplied by breadth. Therefore, from the question, the value of length is 15 meters, while the value of the breadth of the classroom is 8 meters. Therefore, the area of the classroom is equal to 120 meters squared. A parallelogram is also a two-dimensional plane shape. It does not have thickness. The perimeter of a parallelogram is equal to P, which is equal to 2 multiplied by the sum of the adjacent sides. So if the adjacent sides are A and B, the sum of A and B multiplied by 2 is the perimeter of a parallelogram. A parallelogram has adjacent sides of 12 cm and 8 cm. Calculate its perimeter. We know that the perimeter of a parallelogram is 2 multiplied by the sum of the adjacent sides. Therefore, 2 multiplied by 12 and 8 is equal to 96 centimeters. Therefore, 2 multiplied by 96 is equal to 192 centimeters. Therefore, the perimeter of the parallelogram is equal to 192 centimeters. The area of a parallelogram is equal to base of the parallelogram multiplied by the height of the parallelogram, which is the same thing as base times height. So in this question, a parallelogram has a base of 14 centimeters and a height of 9 centimeters. Calculate the area of the parallelogram. The base of the parallelogram is given as 14 centimeters. And the height of the parallelogram is given as 9 centimeters. And we are asked to calculate for the area. But we know that the area of a parallelogram is equal to base multiplied by height. Therefore, 14 multiplied by 9 is going to give us the area of the parallelogram. Area of parallelogram is equal to 14 multiplied by 9, which is equal to 126 centimeters squared. A rhombus is another two-dimensional shape that does not have thickness. The perimeter of a rhombus is 4 multiplied by the length of the rhombus. So the 4 sides of a rhombus are equal. In the question, a rhombus has a side length of 11 centimeters. Calculate its perimeter. A rhombus has a side length of 11 centimeters. Calculate its perimeter. Let's apply the formula for the perimeter of a rhombus to solve this question. So the length in the question is equal to 11 centimeters. Therefore, if we substitute 11 into the formula for perimeter, P is equal to 4 multiplied by 11, which is equal to 44 centimeters. The formula for the area of a rhombus is equal to base multiplied by the height of the rhombus. The base of the rhombus multiplied by the height of the rhombus. Or, if the base and the height is not given, and the two diagonals of the rhombus is given, you can apply this other formula. 1 all over 2 multiplied by D1, which is the first diagonal, multiplied by D2, which is the second diagonal. Look at this question. A rhombus has a diagonal of 12 cm and 16 cm. Calculate its area. We're asked to find the area of a rhombus. The two diagonals of the rhombus are given. So we are going to apply the second formula. Therefore, area of a rhombus is equal to 1 all over 2 multiplied by D1 multiplied by D2, where D1 is equal to, according to the question, 12 centimeters, and D2 is 16 centimeters. So if we divide 12 by 2, 12 divided by 2 is 6. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Therefore, 6 multiplied by 16 is equal to 96 centimeters squared. So this is the area of the rhombus. A trapezium is another plane shape with just one pair of parallel sides. So only A and C are parallel. The perimeter of a trapezium is the sum of all its sides. So a trapezium has side length of 8 cm, 10 cm, 6 cm, and 12 cm, and we're asked to calculate its perimeter. The perimeter P of the trapezium is equal to the sum of all its sides, which is A plus B plus C plus D. And the value of A is 8 cm plus 10 cm plus 6 cm plus 12 cm. The perimeter of the rhombus P is equal to 36 centimeters. The area of the trapezium is equal to 1 all over 2 multiplied by the sum of the two parallel sides multiplied by the perpendicular distance between the two parallel sides. Let's look at an example where we can apply this formula. In the question, a trapezium has parallel sides of length 12 cm and 18 cm and a height of 7 cm. Calculate its area. So we know that the formula of the area of a trapezium is equal to 1 all over 2 multiplied by the sum of the parallel sides of the parallelogram multiplied by the perpendicular distance between the parallel sides, which is the height of the parallelogram. And the value of A is given as 12 cm. The value of B is given as 18 cm. And the value of the height of the trapezium is given as 7 cm. Therefore, this is the same thing as 1 all over 2 multiplied by 30 multiplied by 7. 2 will divide 30 to give us 15. 2 divide 1 is 2. Therefore, 15, 2 divide 2 is 1, sorry. Therefore, 15 multiplied by 7. Therefore, the area of the trapezium is 15 multiplied by 7, which is equal to 105 centimeters squared. The area of a circle is equal to pi r squared, which can also be represented as pi multiplied by the square of the diameter divided by 4. Let me show you how to apply the formula for the area of a circle to calculate for the area of a circle. A circle has a radius of 7 centimeters. Calculate its area. If the diameter is given and the radius is not given, then you can apply the second formula to calculate for the area of the circle. Now let me show you how to use the formula for the area of a circle. A circle has a radius of 7 centimeters. Calculate its area. Take pi to be 22 all over 7. The area of a circle A is equal to pi r squared. I'm using this formula because the radius is given in the question. Therefore, area is equal to pi r squared. Area is equal to, the value of pi is 22 over 7. And the radius is 7. The radius is 7 squared. This is the same thing as 22 all over 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7. 7 will cancel out 7. Therefore, area is equal to 154 centimeters squared. The circumference of a circle is the same as the perimeter of a circle. And the formula is 2 pi r, which can also be represented as pi d, where r is the radius of the circle, d is the diameter of the circle, and pi is 22 all over 7, or 3.142. Now let me show you how to apply this formula to calculate for the circumference of a circle. A circle has a radius of 7 centimeters. Calculate its circumference. So if the circumference C is equal to 2 pi r, the value of pi is 22 all over 7, and the radius is 7 centimeters. 7 will cancel out 7. Therefore, 2 multiplied by 22 is equal to 44 centimeters. So this is the circumference of a circle. Now take note that I used this formula, 2 pi r. I did not use pi d or pi multiplied by the diameter, because in the question, the diameter is not provided. You look at the question, use the parameters that are provided in the question to determine the formula to apply. So if the diameter is given, you use this formula, pi multiplied by the diameter. If the radius alone is given, you use 2 pi r. A sector of a circle is a pie-shaped part of a circle, and it is bounded by 2 radii, that is 2 radius, and an arc. And the formula for the length of an arc is theta over 360 multiplied by 2 pi r. So see how I will use this formula to calculate for the length of the arc of a circle. A circle has a radius of 14 centimeters. If the angle subtended at the center is 90 degrees, calculate the length of the arc. Take pi to be 22 over 7. And we know that the formula for the length of an arc is equal to theta all over 360 multiplied by 2 pi r all over 1. The value of theta is given as 90 degrees. The value of pi is 22 over 7. The value of radius is 14. Now we can cancel out. 7 can divide 14. 2. 7 divide itself 1. 90 can divide 360. 90 into 360 is 4. 90 here is 1. Therefore, 1 all over 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 2. We can rewrite this value below as 2 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 2 all over 4. 2 will cancel out 2, 1. 2 into 4 is 2. 2 will cancel out 2, 1. 2 will cancel out 2, 1. Therefore, the length of the arc is equal to 22 centimeters. A segment of a circle is the area of a circle or the part of a circle that is bounded by a chord and an arc. So this is an example of a question where we are asked to calculate for the segment of a circle, the shaded part of this circle. So a circle has a radius of 14 centimeters and a central angle of 90 degrees. Calculate the area of the sector. Then find the area of the minor segment, which is this shaded part of the circle. Now the formula we are going to use is area of the segment. Let's represent the area of the segment as AS. Area of segment is equal to area of sector minus area of triangle. So the area of this shaded segment is equal to the area of the sector of this circle, this entire area, minus the area of this triangle here. So if we get the area of this triangle and we get the area of this entire area, the sector, when we subtract, we get the minor segment, this area that is shaded. So the formula for the area of a sector is theta over 360 times pi r squared minus area of a triangle is 1 over 2 multiplied by r squared sine theta. And this is the same thing as 90 all over 360 multiplied by 22 all over 7 multiplied by 14 squared minus 1 all over 2 multiplied by 14 squared multiplied by sine 90 degrees. So let's take these numbers off. Therefore, 90 divide 360 is 4. So we have 1 over 4 multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 14 times 14 minus 1 over 2 multiplied by 14 multiplied by 14 multiplied by the sine of 90 degrees is 1. 7, we go into 14, 2, 7 here, 1. 2 here is 7, 2 here is 2, 2 here is 11, 2 here is 1. 2 into 14 is 7, 2 here is 1. Therefore, the value is 11 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 7 minus 7 multiplied by 14. 11 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 7 is equal to 154 minus 7 multiplied by 14 is 98. Remember, this is the area of the segment, this shaded part. Therefore, the difference of 154 and 98 is 56. 56 centimeters squared. So 56 centimeters squared is the area of this shaded segment of the circle. The perimeter of a sector. The formula for the perimeter of a sector of a circle is P is equal to length of the arc plus 2r. And this is the same thing as theta over 360 times 2 pi r plus 2r. So if the length of arc is given, you use the first formula. But if the length of arc is not given, you use the second formula. So let me show you how to use the second formula to calculate for the perimeter of a circle.